So in this today's scenario, we are going to discuss about traditional symmetric key ciphers பத்தி நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண போறோம். So what is traditional symmetric key cipher? So when we are converting the plain text into ciphertext, we use some process to convert the plain text into ciphertext. So the process is defined as either it may be an encryption algorithm or else in the receiving side we can use it as a decryption algorithm. Converting the plain text into ciphertext, we perform the operation, we perform the process such as encryption and decryption with the same key, means then it is known as symmetric key cipher. So the block diagram explains that how the symmetric key performed. So here the sender send the plain text to Bob. The plain text is first of all converted by the process encryption algorithm. The algorithm uses the secret key which is shared between both the sender and the receiver. Here the Alice and Bob uses the same secret key. So the algorithm converts the plain text into corresponding ciphertext. The ciphertext transferred into the receiving side, receiver network. So in receiving side, the ciphertext is again converted into, decrypted into the plain text through the process decryption algorithm. So the decryption algorithm also uses the same secret key. So here the key is same for both the encryption and decryption process. For that the encryption algorithm is referred as symmetric key ciphers. So here is the formula or the process how the traditional symmetric key ciphers do. So if we consider P is the plain text and C is the ciphertext and K is the key, the encryption process is nothing but the plain text is converted based on key. So C equal to E K of P. Decryption, similarly decryption, the plain text is converted, the ciphertext is converted into plain text. So P equal to dk of C. So here we also apply in this dk of, instead C we can put ek of P, then we get the same plain text. So the traditional symmetric key ciphers can be classified into two categories. One is in first category substitution cipher and the second one is transmission ciphers. In substitution cipher, it is subdivided into monoalphabetic cipher and polyalphabetic ciphers. Transmission ciphers is either categorized into keyless transmission cipher and keyed transmission ciphers. So in this video, look upon to the substitution ciphers. The substitution cipher is nothing but it replaces one symbol with another symbol. So the cipher can be categorized into monoalphabetic and polyalphabetic. So here in monoalphabetic substitution, the relationship between a symbol in the plain text to the symbol in the ciphertext is always one-to-one mapping. So that the mapping between the plain text and the ciphertext is same. So consider the example hello. The ciphertext is converted into KHOOR, nothing but we put upon A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. So we convert the letter H into mapped into the letter K. Similarly, E is mapped into two letters apart, H. Similarly, L is mapped into O. Here in monoalphabetic, the correspondences between the plain text and ciphertext is 1-to-1. So that L is mapped again into O and then O is mapped into R. So monoalphabetic substitution, the mapping between the plain text and ciphertext is always 1-to-1. In non-monoalphabetic substitutions, we cannot follow the same principle. So in the second case, the additive cipher, it is the simplest one. It is also called as shift cipher or scissor cipher. Here the plain text and ciphertext and the key value is considered between the letters, alphabetic letters, 26 letters, so that the numbered between 0 to up to 25. So the picture shows how the additive cipher will be worked. So when converting the plain text into ciphertext, the plain text is added with the key and it will be modulated by 26. That is, we perform the mode operation From this, we can get the corresponding ciphertext. Similarly, in the receiving side, the plaintext is again decrypted by using C minus K mod 26. Here the key is subtracted. So when the cipher is additive, the plaintext and ciphertext and key values are considered as an integers. So we take up only the 26 alphabets. So here is the example. So take the same word hello, HELLO. The corresponding plaintext character is numbered as it is in the table. So H is mapped into value is 7, E is value 4 and L is value is 11. So similarly O. So the encryption is done as 7. Here we take the key as 15. So 7 plus 15 and we mod the 26 letters. Only the size is 26. So we perform the mod operation. So 7 plus 15, 22. As it is, we perform the mod operation. So the result is always 22. In the case E, 19. In the case of L, we get 26. So 26 mod 26, we get the remainder as 0. So that the ciphertext is A. So similarly, we perform O. 14 plus 15, 29. The remainder is 3. So we get the corresponding letter. So encrypting hello, we get WTAAD. So similarly, we can perform also HAI. So H value is 7 plus 15, we get 22. And A value 0 plus 15 mod 26, we get again 15. And in the value of I, we get 8 plus 15, 23. So we get 23. W, 15, P and 23, X. So here is the example how the additive cipher can be expressed. Decryption also is done by the similar process. Here while doing the decryption, we have subtracted the key. CIF cipher and Caesar cipher, the additive cipher is also called as CIF cipher. That is, the plaintext symbols are shifted towards by giving the value of key. In the case of Caesar cipher, the key is always numbered as 3. So it is referred as a Caesar cipher. And while the cryptanalysis taken to the additive ciphers, brute force attack and statistical attacks are performed. Multiplicative cipher. So in this case, the key value is multiplied with the plaintext symbols values, and we perform C is equal to P into K mod 26, and here the plaintext is and C into K inverse. We perform the inverse of the K and mod 26, so that converting the plaintext into ciphertext, we get the value as Z26, while converting the ciphertext into plaintext, we get Z26 star. That is, we perform the reverse inverse operation and also perform the mod operation. The affine cipher is a combination of additive and multiplicative ciphers. So both the additive cipher, multiplicative cipher and affine ciphers are vulnerably attacked, brute force attack and statistical attacks. Brute force attack is nothing but we perform several combination of keys to get the original plaintext. In the case of frequency of letters, we perform diagrams and trigrams. So we choose the diagrams such as AM, PM and he, is. So the frequencies of letters where it is appeared. In the case of trigrams, we get T, H, E, H, A, I. So like that. So considering the frequency of letters, we also perform the statistical attacks. In this each and every case, the symbol is how many occurrences of the symbol is present in the ciphertext. So both the ciphers, additive, multiplicative and affine ciphers, are attacked by brute force, and statistical attacks are performed because of the key domain is very less. In the case of polyalphabetic ciphers, so monoalphabetic ciphers, always the mapping is 1 to 1. In the case of polyalphabetic cipher, the relationship between a character in the plaintext and the character in the ciphertext is 1 to many. So the process is, here we consider P equal to P1, P2, P3 such that we consider each and every letters. Similarly C, and the K is considered as K1. First of all we take up the K, and the second K value is considered as a P1 P2 and P3 such that. So the encryption is nothing but same process, Ci equal to Pi plus Ki mod 26. Why I is present here is we take up each and every character, each occurrences of a character may have a different values, so that we put it as an I. So the example is plain text. Here the plain text is attack is today. Here we can take the key value as 12. So the p values, corresponding p values considered as 0, 19, 19. This will be considered as from the domain z equal to 26. And k stream is first letter is 12, first value is 12, the second letter is p1, p2, p3, so that we consider 0, 0, 19, 19, 19, 19 as it is considered 1, and c value is like that we only add the p value and the k stream value, so that 12, 19, and we get 12, 19 again, so the corresponding ciphertext values we got it. Playfair cipher. So the best example of polyalphabetic cipher. So in this scheme, the pair of letters are encrypted. So here the diagram is considered. The rules to be followed to apply the Playfair cipher is: first rule is the pair cannot be made with the same letter. In case two letters are appeared, then break the letter in single and add a bogus letter to the previous one. If the letter is standing alone, that is number of letter is odd, then we can also add the extra letters. So here is a corresponding example, HELLO, hello. We separate as a diagram HE, and LL is a consecutive one, so that we put X as a bogus letter, and we get LX comma LO. So in the case of HAI, the odd number of letter occurrence is odd, so that we add another one bogus letter. If the rules of Playfair cipher is, if both the letters are in the same column, then take the letter below each one, and if both the letters are in the same row, and take the letter to the right of each one, and if neither of the above rules is true, we have to form a rectangle with the two letters and take the letters on the horizontal opposite corner of the rectangle. So here is an example. So we perform the Playfair key. The secret key is considered as a matrix format. We take the plain text is hello. So HE, here the HE is the same row, so that we can the plain text rule, ciphertext rule is we take the right of the letters. So we take as E, C. In the case of LX, it is reside in the same column, so that we took up the bottom of the letters. So Q and Z will be taken, and L is placed in first row and O is placed in fourth row, so that we form a rectangle, so that the corresponding ciphertext is B and X. Thank you for watching this video. So we will next is about transposition cipher in traditional symmetric ciphers. Thank you.